Okay, today we're going to take a look at the CZ-82. This is a former Czech police pistol. It's a straight blowback design, just like a 22 or a 380, which means the barrel stays in place. As opposed to a lock breech design where the barrel comes back with the slide a little bit before pivoting up and letting the slide come back the rest of the way. That lock breech design absorbs some recoil. This design doesn't really absorb any recoil except what the recoil spring allows. Now size wise, I've got a kind of a standard size gun here. This is a Smith & Wesson Model 19 38 Special revolver. You can see how big that is in my hands. Just for good practice. And then comparatively, you can check the CZ-82. It's a smaller gun, probably 20% smaller than the Smith & Wesson 19. So, confirmed clear. Now some of the key features about this gun, it's a double stack gun chambered in 9mm Makarov, which is actually a little bigger than 9mm. It's more like 9.2mm. And it packs a little more punch than a 380, a couple of more foot-pounds. I don't know, maybe 10 or 20 more foot-pounds than a standard loading. But it's a double stack. Magazine holds 13 rounds or 12 rounds, I don't remember which is some pretty good firepower, you know, a little more than a 380, which some people consider marginal. Alright, so let's move on a little bit. You can see here we've got the ambidextrous safety. One neat thing about this gun, not many guns in this class can you carry cocked and locked, but this one you can. It doesn't move very far when it's locked, but as you can see, it's locked. So if you don't want to, you don't have to practice with the double action trigger. Just carry it cocked and locked instead. Or if you want to have it double action, the trigger is actually pretty good. It's very smooth. Kind of heavy, but very smooth. Doesn't stack as much as other guns. The finish, you can see it's kind of dinged up here. It's just like some kind of paint or something. Not really that great of a finish, but it's just purely functional. Okay, on this side, we've got the magazine or the slide lock. That's the only thing about the gun that's not ambidextrous. It doesn't have it on the right side of the gun. So if you're lefty, you'll have to, if you're going to operate that, you have to do it with your index finger instead. So you can see the slide lock there. There's no decocker. You have to do it the old-fashioned way. Hopefully you'll do that with an empty chamber, you know, if at all possible. The grip, it's kind of hard to show here, but it's kind of wide, but only being a 12 or 13 round gun, it's not overly wide. I have kind of small hands for a guy, but very comfortable. It doesn't look as high-tech as the newer CZs and Walthers and whatnot, Smith & Wesson M&P, but it's a very comfortable grip. So let me take it apart for you now and show you the rest of it. This comes apart much like the Walthers. What we'll do is we'll lock the slide back, and then we pull down on the trigger guard. You can see that came down a little bit, and now I can pull this. Oops! I can pull this back a little bit more, lift up the back, and slide it off. And you can see we've got the recoil spring just goes around the barrel. Like I said, the barrel's fixed to the frame. This actually gives it a little bit more accuracy than a gun of this size would have. You don't have the barrel moving around on you, so you know, that's one less thing to throw you off. Slide, just a real basic level of finish here. You can see the machining marks. You probably can even hear it if I scratch my fingernails on it. Very crude level of finish where finish doesn't matter. But you can see, oh well, you see I didn't even wash it the last time I shot it. Nice. You can see it's smooth enough where it needs to be on the friction points, and everywhere else it's just a purely functional level of finish. And maybe you can see here there's the etchings here, CZ-82, 9 by 18 millimeter. So you have 9 by 17, which is 380, 9 by 18, which is 9 millimeter Makarov, and then you have 9 by 19, which is 9 millimeter Luger or 9 millimeter Parabellum. Rest of the gun also stays pretty simple. Probably can't see here, but it's got polygonal rifling, which means when you look down the barrel, it looks like it's stripped. It's not. You just can't really see the rifling, and they do that to give higher velocity with jacketed bullets, which this gun is probably going to shoot the most of it in its role as a police gun. Put it back together. It's a reverse of assembly. Put on the recoil spring. Put the slide over it. Pull it over all the way back. Put it down, and then when we're done, latch it back up, and we're good to go. The single action trigger is not fantastic. It's not like a 1911 or anything, but maybe just a little bit better than a typical single action trigger on a double action pistol. And the double action is loads better. I found that this gun shoots, a lot of guys that are going to buy this, you're going to find it as a surplus gun like I did. Probably pay right around $200 for it. I don't remember how much I paid, but I think it was about that. And then you'll go out and buy some bulk Russian ammunition, brown bear, silver bear, whatever. I've only tried the brown bear so far. It's reliable, but it shoots pretty high. I think the stock sights are probably regulated for 50 meters, because when I'm shooting at steel plates at regular ranges of 15 yards or so, I have to aim 8 or 10 inches low. 6 o'clock on a pretty good sized steel plate. If you're aiming at smaller targets, you're going to have to guess a little bit, or fit an adjustable sight or a higher or lower front sight. But anyway, nice little gun, very good value in a used gun. As far as I know, nothing like it is made today. Only the surplus Warsaw packed guns are chambered in 9mm Makarov anymore. CZ still makes this CZ-82 in a 380 version, which some people will go for because it's easier to find factory ammo if you were to go to like a Bass Pro store or something. But I like the Makarov, even if it's a little harder to find ammo for. The bulk market is selling really well with that ammo, so just buy 500 rounds at a time or something online, and go out and shoot 50 at a time or whatever, and just enjoy the gun. One other reason I bought this, besides it being a cool, comfortable, accurate gun, is that it's just about the right size for concealed carry for me. If I ever go somewhere where that's allowed, it's not too big, not too small. I think it'll pack better than a revolver because it doesn't have the big chunky cylinder here. The slide's nice and narrow. The slide's actually short because you don't have the recoil spring underneath it, and then just the thickish grip is sticking out. So I think this will make a great concealed carry gun. I think I probably give this gun about an 8 or 9 out of 10. Really nice little gun. About the only bad thing I can find about them is that it's hard to find the magazines at a reasonable price. I haven't found them for less than about 30 or 35 bucks a piece, and I don't think anyone makes a reliable aftermarket magazine for it. So if you want extra mags, buy them when you buy the pistol, or be ready to search for them later. Thanks for watching.